Rock 100.5, Axel Lowe hanging out with you. Brian Johnson of AC/DC. You've got a new album coming out, and you've got the band back together. How excited are you?
It's something, probably nobody thought would happen, but, it was about 2018, and Angus was contacted by the record company. He said, do you fancy doing an album? And Angus said, well, let's ask the boys, So, he asked me and Cliff and Phil, and Stevie was there, obviously, and I think we all said yes immediately. We just said, oh, this would be great. And, of course, we went off to Vancouver in about August just to see what would, I didn't know what anybody saw would happen. But as soon as we walked in, there was this just electricity, this lovely vibe, this bond that had been built up over 38 years or something then, since I joined. And of course, when the boys plugged in or powered up, if you'll excuse the pun, and I started playing, that was it. We were just all made up. It was a great time, for us.
Yeah, very excited for all of us rock fans, too. Cliff, how did you feel about getting back together with the band? You had retired a couple of years ago.
Oh, I was really excited to do it. The last Rock or Bust was due to be my last fling, and that was a tough tour to finish. But when I heard that Brian and Phil were back, I was super excited to join in.
AC/DC's Power Up will be out November 13th, and by now, I think everybody's heard a little teaser of it. What can you tell us about this new album?
Well, it's, the basic thing is there's a lot of about some of Malcolm's guitar playing on. Well, of course, that's not true. But what is true is the fact that Angus and Malcolm had done riffs together all their life. And they literally had a big box of them. And Angus said he basically just went through them all. And he went, oh, that's a good one. This is a good one. And he brought them out. So it really is true that Malcolm's on there, basically in spirit and all of that, and he's so strong, such a strong character as he, in life, and I think everybody in the band still felt him, everybody, especially Angus, his brother. He's in everything, and I think we're always conscious of that he's watching over. We're going, you better do it right. You better do it AC/DC style, or just not do it at all. And the songs came in with, Angus came in with them and all of that, and worked with Brendan O'Brien, the producer, and he took me, for my part, the vocal part, I went into just a regular little control room. And we just went for it, and take it back, and Angus would have a listen and see if there was anything needed changing. But basically, the songs were just almost set up for it. There was just changes here and there. That's obvious. That's going to happen, but there wasn't much.
So it came together really well, really well. Also, Brendan's a great motivator. He keeps it going. And the end result is, this is, as soon as you hear it, this is an AC/DC record.
Yeah, it's got that great signature sound. Now that the new record's done, Power Up, coming out November 13th, are there plans to tour?
Well, we talked about playing some shows when we got together to shoot a video and do some rehearsals. It was with an idea of playing some shows. Unfortunately, we all went home after that rehearsal and conversations, and then this damn virus hit. It was never taken any further. So we've, like everybody, everything's on the shelf, but we would love to get out and play live.
I hear that. 2020's been a frustrating year for everybody. How did you guys cope with those previous lockdown months?
It's as frustrating as hell. What can I say that's even interesting? The same as everybody else, right. Just trying to make life bearable, just doing things. you know, it's getting a bit better now, but in the early days when it was complete lockdown and stuff like that, it was just, you know, you had to make your own fun in the house and, you know, you call people a lot, I mean, you know, Zoom people and but it stopped everybody in their tracks, you know, especially us. We were so excited to get together in Holland, you know, where we rehearsed for about 3 weeks. And it was just, you know, we were so happy with what was coming out, you know, and just like Cliff said, you know, we just flew back and thinking it was somebody else's virus. You know, it's not going to happen to us. But boy, oh boy, that was wrong.
The conversation, it was starting when we were just about to leave Amsterdam. We were getting the news about it, and it was like, well, you know, it's flu. And then, well, bang.
And did anybody in the AC/DC camp get the virus or know somebody that got the virus?
I've had a couple of friends that have had it right about my age and went through it. Both are okay. So
good. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, good to hear they're okay. Good to hear the band's okay and healthy. New AC/DC album coming out in November. We get that first song from it on Wednesday. And I want to talk about another album that you guys put out. We just celebrated the 40th anniversary of Back in Black. Back in Black, the album, is the fourth biggest selling album of all time. Even outsold the Beatles' White Album, 26 million copies. When you guys were recording that, did you feel like you were creating magic? Did you feel the specialness of it?
Yeah. It was Brian's first work with us, and it just felt magic. You know, it was really good.
Yeah, you know, it's still, you know, I listen to it today, you know, and it still sounds fresh. You know, the songs, and they do. You know, when I listen to Back in Black, it sounds like some young kids come out with something that he wants to say, and he wants to say it loud and proud. You know, and it was a heck of an album that none of us, I guess, you know, nobody goes in to do a bad album, and nobody goes in to do one of the best-selling albums. But you just never think it's, you know, you never think it's possible. But it's just been fantastic for us, you know, and for the kids, you know, the young fans, you know, some of them like 12, 13, and they know every lick on that flipping album, you know, all the words, you know, it's quite amazing, and it's, you know, you've got to keep pinching yourself and saying, you know, that's me on there. You know, it's not easy to explain.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, but I think you explained it pretty well. Last question: the best part about being a member of AC/DC, and the most difficult part?
Oh, well, I guess have a bond with four of the best, you know, musicians of what they do that I've heard, you know, I think that's got to play a big part, and you feel quite proud that you're playing with them and you're part of them and accept you as part of them. So for me, that's, you know, and the fact that the fans just stick by you through thick and thin, you know, it's very important to any band to have a bedrock like that. And AC/DC are just, you know, it's cast iron, you know, with the fans. They're just the best.
And what's the most difficult part about being in AC/DC?
Well, they never used to be. It's just since they got iPhones, cell phones, and social media, you know, which I'm not on, and I don't even have a cell phone, an iPhone. You know, the privacy bit, you know, because we're always quiet. AC/DC always, you know, lived under the radar, as it were. You know, all the boys, when I joined them, they lived, you know, well away from the hoopla and you know, the special parties for opening up things or whatever it is. The boys always kept well below the radar, you know, and it was, you know, it was happy. You know, it was fun in them days, you know, carefree. And then social media came along and it all up. So anyway.
Cliff, you got to follow that. What about you?
Yeah, the best part is playing with these guys for over 40 years. And I mean, the original, Angus, Brian, Phil, God bless Mel, but Stevie now, is playing the music together, particularly live. Well, live. The live thing is the best. The worst for me is the travel at the end of a 2-year tour.
Yeah, I can imagine so. The last few shows after playing 150 or 200 must be a little taxing.
Well said.
Well, hopefully we get to see AC/DC live again in the not-so-distant future. This we do know, the new album, Power Up, coming out November 13th. The first song from it, first new AC/DC in 6 years, called Shot in the Dark, comes out on Wednesday. Brian Johnson, Cliff Williams, AC/DC, so great to talk to you.
Thanks, me son. It was lovely speaking with you. And I hope to see you soon. Okay, Axel? Bye-bye.